headlamp on, and we continue. In the pitch black here. Getting smoky. Ugh. Oh boy. Oh shit. This will be fun. Oh my God. No way. This is hands and knees stuff now. I'm literally on my hands and knees. Oh my gosh. Oh, holy crap. Whew. Wow, what the heck is this? This is way down here. It's like a cave.
I've seen something like this before. I think it was in the chambers.
Yeah. I wonder if there was ever.
Paris.
Yeah.
London.
Oh, what the heck's down there?
Very much like this big hole with this type of crap in there. My phone back.
That might be something to do with little residents.
Yeah, possibly. You can certainly hear that.
Tuning fork or just different spaces to get the right hertz.
Who can do the or
All right, so what do we got? Another continuation here?
So fortunately, Alex got on his hands and knees and crawled all the way to the end. It's a dead end.
A dead end, yeah. Should we do it? Oh gosh, that's way in there. I can sort of see the end. So he had to turn around then.
Oh, did he?
I'm not doing that, huh? I think I've ventured down. Man, this.
I thought that this connected to an aquifer or something, and this was filled with water potentially.
There's runoff channels.
No, this whole thing was flooded with water.
Under there, channels.
Yeah. But the Nile's no longer up here.
Wow. Look at that ceiling.
I don't know what that is. I took my glasses off. Oh, yeah, I put them in the bag. I thought we had 100 feet or 100 feet to climb there. It was actually more like 30.
Take the seat before you go.
I didn't bring, I just meant to get
Boy, it was so damn hot up in that king's chamber with all those people in there.
And Mark found a fan, got a fan working in the Queen's chamber.
Oh, did he? All right, out we go. Back up.
Welcome to Universe Unveiled, the podcast where we explore the mysteries that challenge our understanding of history and the universe, presented by the Institute for Natural Philosophy. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jacqueline. Today we have a special guest. He majored in geology, minored in archaeology, and is on a mission to get people interested in our ancient past.
He is a very active member of the history community and also visits local schools to talk about his travels and bring history to life. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Fitzpatrick.
Hey.
How are you all doing?
We're doing good.
Good.
Excited to finally have you on.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having me. Looking
Yeah.
forward to doing this.
It's a
So,
pleasure. Yeah.
Definitely. So, did we get that right? You majored in geology and minored in archaeology.
that is correct. Yeah. So that was
Okay.
way back when, back in the early '80s at Ohio State University here in Columbus, which I'm located just outside of Columbus. Actually, been here lifelong resident.
Okay. Okay. In the 80s. What was I doing in the 80s?
Were you
I was
guys
being
around back
born.
then?
I was.
I was.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
one whole year, I was around in the 80s.
For one whole
Well, I tell you
year.
what, it's just amazing how fast time flies. I mean, geez, seems like yesterday in some aspects, but then again, it seems like eons ago. But
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sarah,
that was your first passion was geology, archaeology, the sciences.
Well, so I can go back a bit. It's it's a really interesting story. Oh, I know I was no older than 5, and my parents had picked up a book. I believe they got it from a gas station. They would do these giveaways in some fashion. Um, and so you would go if you bought so much gas, I believe, then you would qualify to. Uh, they had these encyclopedias a set of encyclopedias that were put together for kids, and only got the first book, at least that I can recall, and it was the letter A. And in there was archaeology and arrowheads right there on the same page, and had an image of a burial with some. There is all hand drawn arrowheads. This would have been back in the '60s, and there was something about those arrowheads that were drawn on that page that I could not get enough of, and have vivid memories of it. My mother would put that book up in a shelf in a closet, hall closet, in the family room there, and I would always have her get that book down. I still have that book somewhere around here to this day, but and just study those arrowheads. I don't, there's something about it. So now this was in Columbus. We moved to a suburb of Columbus, Pickerington, and it was all farmland back then. And that would have been in second grade. And we had a creek that ran through the subdivision where I grew up. My brother and I and some of the other kids there in the neighborhood we just loved going down to that creek and looking for frogs, and you know what kids do, just anyway. There was one particular year where the whole creek dried up,
mm.
and so we thought that was cool. And again, this is back in second grade, and we were walking the stream bed, and I see sticking out underneath a big rock the bottom of an arrowhead. And the second I saw it, I knew what it was. And I
I bet your
mean,
heart was just a pumping
oh
too.
my gosh, I was thrilled to death. It's like, wow, I found one of those things that was in that book.
Yeah.
And
Treasure.
yeah, so my dad took it to work with him and was showing it to some of the guys he worked with. And somebody there told him that, they typically find those things out in farm fields. So when we have farm fields all around us, and the rest is history. So I started hunting for those things and would find them, and just it was really a fluke of luck that there happened to be some pretty decent ancient sites. It was very apparent that in those fields where I would hunt, just walking distance from where I lived, and I spent countless hours, generally in the spring and early summer months when there's no vegetation, um, hunting those things. And just became a hobby, and then that grew into an interest in, archaeology type stuff. Always was into fossils, rocks, and that sort of thing. And so then that just led to me going to Ohio State and majoring in geology and minoring in archaeology. I never did get the degree. Started my 4th year. Um, and at that time, this is early '80s, probably 1983. The outlook for the job outlook in geology was horrendous. The oil market was
Mm.
tanking, and the only thing out there really was to teach the stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I thought
Yeah.
a little bit about actually maybe switching over and focusing more on the archaeology side. But back then even you would not get monies for projects if it didn't fit the basic general narrative. If I went in and said, "Hey, can we do this dig on something that was not mainstream?" You would play heck getting any funding for it. So anyway, I just did a 360 and got into business. I I left Ohio State, went got into got into banking, and then ended up getting a degree in marketing. And for years I was doing a lot of work at a pretty big bank here in the Columbus area, and then subsequently left that to go into business on my own in real estate. And so I'm semi-retired at this point, but I've all
Nice.
through the years I've had this just interest. And just I can't soak this stuff up enough. I mean, I'm just addicted to it. So literally.
Have you ever had the opportunity to go on any funded digs?
Not any funded digs. I did do some volunteer stuff.
Okay.
And then this is primarily back again in the 80s while I was going to Ohio State, and even before. A lot of folks don't know in your area, you reach out to your local museums. They are they're in the instances that I was involved in this stuff. There were subdivisions that were going in, and
Mm.
during the initial phases of putting in these housing subdivisions, the two instances I'm speaking of, they came across Indian mounds, and they were in a crunch time. The archaeologists were to dig the mound before it was destroyed. So they needed volunteers to come in and help do that stuff. And
Right.
that's the same case even to today.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised at how, and not just actually sites that they need help, digging on, but they're at the museums. I mean, it's sort of crunch time, and they're always looking for volunteers to help in some fashion. So if anybody has an interest in this stuff, it's a great
Mm-hmm.
way to get involved and maybe build contacts and set your on your way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
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 I
I
live.
think we've all had a point where we had to hit the backup plan in life, like, and take that detour, and then you always wind up where you're meant to be. So
That's
that's,
true.
Isn't that
That's
funny
true.
how that
yeah.
works? Yeah.
Yes.
The older you
Yep.
get, the more you'll look back at all these different whys you had in the road. And boy, what if I took that one?
Mm-hmm.
What would have happened? would
Mm-hmm.
been
Yeah.
would have been totally different. So,
Yeah.
but
It has a way of
I wouldn't change
unfolding.
it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It just has a way of unfolding the way it's meant to be.
It does.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Mm-hmm.
does.
So, in regards to your presentations that you give at schools, how did you get into that? How did that pique your interest?
Okay, so let's see. I've got a daughter, and as her first half of her schooling was private school,
Okay.
and so they most private schools rely on the parents doing a lot of input. So you're supposed to help out and all. But anyways, when she was going through her history stuff, and this would have been, I don't know, third, fourth grade. I went in and gave talks to the kids in her class. More really, when you're at the more elementary school level, it's I more enjoy the middle school, a little bit older kids.
Mm-hmm.
After they've learned about the Mohs scale of hardness, usually that's around sixth grade, seventh grade time frame, at
Mm-hmm.
least here in Ohio. Um, then you can sort of tie in information about how they made tools and the hardness of stone and how that mattered in building different sites and all that stuff. I did most of my early presentations revolved around the ancient Native American cultures that lived in the Ohio area. And it's so funny because I got to believe that 80% of the population, when you show them an arrowhead, they think, "Oh yeah, that thing's a couple hundred years old."
Mm.
made during the cowboy and Indian days.
Sure.
It's like, oh no, 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 no,
No.
no. A
No.
lot of these things are thousands of years old. So anyway, early presentations were more focused on the Ohio cultures, mound builders, the Hopewell, the Adena, the Fort Ancient, and that sort of thing. And then more recently, I also do stuff on Egypt. And I was doing some of the presentations on Egypt before I went to Egypt a year ago, February. And boy, if you can ever do it, you got to make that a bucket list. I mean, I want to go back again. So I can't wait to
We've
get
been
back
living vicariously through your uploads on YouTube from Egypt. That's what we've been going
there.
on about.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I do it's sort of funny. The first time I gave a presentation on Egypt, and my wife knows how I think. She says, "You better not be going in there doing that conspiracy theory stuff." And and she was worried to
She
death.
knows you.
Yeah, yeah. I said, "It's not. I'm not going in there doing any conspiracy theory stuff." But what I did, it was a presentation on the Great Pyramid, and there's a really interesting video out on YouTube. Mark Lehner, archaeologist. It's sort of funny to watch. It reminds me of the one that Dr. David Miano just put out, where he's there with the pounding stones. Oh yeah, they had teams of guys, and
Yeah, I saw your post about that. Yeah.
I mean, come on now. They
Mhm.
did not sit there and use those pounding stones. I think they were used as a tool, maybe to some extent on working stone, but I think there might have been additional alternative uses for those things as well.
Yeah,
But
there's no way
that
that's facilitates the bulk of the work. That's
No.
impossible.
no,
Yeah.
no.
No.
Well, and I didn't really get a chance. I was out of town yesterday and all, and I came back and like, oh my God, I couldn't believe how much that blew up. How many people were commenting on it. I just haven't had time to get back out there and respond to some of the things that folks were saying. But when you're there, there's in the Aswan, not to get off on this sidetrack here, but
No, that's
at,
fine.
at, at the Aswan Quarry, you've got the unfinished obelisk that's like, massive, 1,200 tons, something like that, sitting there, But additionally, in that quarry, you go down further and you find other areas where they were clearly manufacturing something to take out, that's still sitting there. And you see these, it looks like scoop marks. And you sit here and it's like, okay, now how on earth? And and some of these, you're walking down like a channel there,
Hmm.
and these scoop marks, are going, several feet up. And so now, how on earth could they have used one of those pounders to literally
Make that.
go in a vertical motion, cut down through that, and then underneath? I mean, and how
Doesn't
would
make
it even make?
sense.
Yeah, how would it make that just scoop mark look? Which who knows what it is? I mean, it
Hmm.
literally, and people have said this. It looks like they taken a hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
That whatever it was they used, it
Ice
just
cream scoop.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it looks like. Now, what it was that did it, who knows? I don't think any of us really know yet. So,
Yeah.
I like that answer, and I think a lot of people are afraid to say that.
We just don't
yeah,
know.
We
we
don't
don't
know.
know.
Imagine that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then and you see these comments, especially from some on the, I guess, professional side of archaeology, saying, "Well, where's all the tools at if they had advanced technologies?" And I think I've somewhere I was talking to somebody and used this analogy. If somebody found a DVD today,
Mhm.
and they'd look at it and they'd think, oh, well, there's a hole in it. Wonder if they use this as like a little necklace thing hanging
Mhm.
around their neck.
Right.
Um, but somebody in the future, probably it'd be really tough for them to know that thing actually has audio and video on it. And if
Yes.
they
Yep.
didn't have the proper device to see that or hear it,
They wouldn't know
they'll
what it
never
is.
know. Yeah,
And they also wouldn't find it next to the machine that made it.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and not to mention the DVD itself. I mean, those things, I think they last 50 years, maybe,
Hmm.
something like that. Then the
Hmm.
sound and all that goes by the wayside, and
Yeah.
it's just nothing but a piece of plastic again. But who knows that there wasn't something like that? You take like, uh, look at Japan when they had that big tsunami
Hmm.
and the areas there that were just totally wiped clean. Well, if we had some much more on a bigger scale, uh, cataclysmic event of some sort, that you it would in one fell swoop. Water, the power of water can't be underestimated. The more volume, the more it will just wipe stuff clean
Hmm.
and gone forever. Then you add time into the equation, and if you're
Hmm.
going back, 500 years, 1,000 years, now 10,000 years potentially,
Hmm.
we won't have anything left,
Right.
especially anything metal or, I mean, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stone's literally
Just the
it.
stone.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And that's why geology is important.
Yeah. For
exactly.
sure.
Yeah,
Like that's where
yeah,
that comes into play.
Yeah.
Like I
yeah.
see where you're tracking here.
Yeah. That's my
Definitely.
favorite. My favorite phrase to keep myself in perspective because I consume so much information and material on ancient subjects is that we just don't know. Like
We don't.
nobody knows because we weren't there. So, like
Yes.
in that way, I always can kind of keep myself centered and not, meander down the path because a lot of people have a lot of theories, which are cool to hear and to, take this or that from and to consider. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Now I should tweak my comment on that. When I say we the general public doesn't
yes.
know, but I have a sneaking suspicion that somebody knows,
Mm,
and they don't want us to know for whatever reason, and
yeah.
that's a
I mean,
whole nother story. But
fair point.
yeah,
It is because no matter which door you come in on this stuff, like yours was archaeology and mine was like spirituality and Jacqueline's doing anthropology. No matter
yeah,
which door you come in on all of this stuff, you wind up at the same conclusion that someone somewhere told a colossal lie.
Yeah,
yeah,
big cover ups.
yeah,
I mean that's what we do know. I feel like we do
yeah,
know that.
Hmm.
yeah. And it's funny. I used to hate education. I hated it with a passion. And it wasn't until, oh, I don't know, probably third year into college, then I started changing my outlook on it. And it was like, it's sort of fun learning about all kinds of different stuff.
Hmm.
Um, well, then, I'm going to get on a different tangent here. So
We like a
after
good
after
tangent.
so after 9/11, this probably, I don't know, maybe 5 years after that,
Okay.
I was sitting on the couch. I was sick. If I remember, it might have been over New Year's Eve no, yeah, I had not drank or anything. I was coming down with the flu or something. Anyway, my wife goes next door, and they were hosting a get together, and and somehow I came across this documentary called 9/11 in Plain Sight.
Hmm.
Not sure if you've seen it or not, but that was my wake up moment, that watching that documentary.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, I sat there just looking at the blank TV screen like, there's
Yeah.
no way this could be true. And I was a huge Bush supporter, and boy, all that went out the window. And my wife gets back, and I'm telling her, "Oh, you have to watch this documentary. You have to watch. You're not going to believe this." And so she did, and she was same thing. Not to the extent I was. It's like, wow, that's what
That's
if that
something.
is real? Yeah. So I went. She thought I went off my rocker. From that point on, I was on my computer. I'm like, I was trying every which way to
Yeah.
disprove what was presented in that, which was basically, just showing different evidence of what if this happened and we weren't told the truth.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you, and so from that point to now, I mean, you name it, I've researched it. um, but I think all that digging into doing all that digging,
Mm-hmm.
and I say quite often, um, question everything. Don't believe what I'm even saying here. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, don't believe anything anybody tells you.
That's
You
true.
take it, but I think what a lot of people don't do, which is I think extremely important, is to go back and check source work. There are folks that I think some of them intentionally are putting crap out there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's in the archaeological type stuff. And there was I can't remember the account the others maybe last week I came across, and it's a site out west. Um, is that in Arizona maybe or somewhere out west? Anyway, um, it, I, I'm looking at these. It's like paintings on the canyon wall, and they're massive. They look like
I
aliens
saw
and
that.
flying saucer, and and
Yes.
I'm like, no, wait a minute.
Like you've
There's
never,
no way.
yeah.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
never seen this before. Yeah.
yeah. And the funny thing, I've um, AI was convinced. I asked Grok and I got
Mm-hmm.
out on Google and did the same thing. Came back, said, yeah, those are images from like they were real.
Because
And
the
I
only
thought,
source that it has is the person who posted it, or the first person that posted it
Yeah.
saying it is
yeah,
real. So it has
yes,
nothing to contradict it. Yeah, it's
yeah,
dangerous.
yeah. Is it Chaco Canyon? I'm trying to remember the name of the place. But anyway, which I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on. Really cool place. Matter of fact, if I get back out that way, I'd like to go out there and check some of that stuff
Mm-hmm.
out. But I hadn't been there personally, other than I've seen enough to know that wait, this is bull crap,
Mm-hmm.
and and that stuff needs called out. And
It
it's just
does.
taken, the folks out here that aren't necessarily degreed in archaeology, that have a passion or an interest for this stuff. It's the same thing as the History Channel when they're running all this stuff on these ancient sites, and everything is ancient alien bull crap.
Yeah.
Um, which I mean, okay, yeah, maybe there was a part that they played at some point, but why do you have to say it's all ancient? Why couldn't it have been, just an advanced culture or something
Yes.
that is gone? So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be careful about the material that you're consuming. And for a person who's a little bit more seasoned, watching something like Ancient Aliens it's kind of fun, you get to ponder this or
It-
that. But for
yeah,
like an early consumer of ancient history, that's dangerous because
oh yeah,
they don't have the
yeah,
discernment, right? They don't have the
yeah.
exposure. So
Well, and you see that by the number of likes and shares.
yes.
It's like, my gosh, there's a lot of people that just take this for gospel,
Yeah.
and they suck it in. And so I fully support these archaeologists that are, and I'm right in the same boat with them. When that type of an account that's putting that type of stuff out there, it definitely needs called out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. When you go to the schools, you take a lot of the artifacts that you found with you.
yes,
How do the
yeah.
kids receive that?
Well, that's the thing. So when I started doing these things, I remember back when I was in school and we'd have, somebody come in and talk. And the ones that were the best, outside of just putting a film strip up on the wall, were the ones that brought actual things that you could handle. And so I I want to, when I go in there and do these things, I'm doing audio visual, I'm me talking and then passing stuff around the class. So I'll just, take some of the stuff I have. Matter of fact, I got working on a video on the Mohs scale of hardness for the Snake Bros Kids channel. But I've got, I'm going to do this at some point here. I haven't had time, been so busy. So these are platform pipes. Okay,
Okay.
so now I wouldn't take this is a real one. Now I would not take this one in. I mean, these kids are just like,
Sure.
I mean, I'll take like,
Yeah.
some of these. This is a banner stone, or I typically take the stuff that if it falls on the floor and breaks accidentally,
Yeah.
it's not going to be a big deal to me. But
Yeah.
but no, I'm so like these things are heavily frauded. I mean, okay, so this one here, this is a fake platform pipe.
Hmm.
So this one's real. That one was fake, and so is this. This is fake too. And you look at it, a normal person looks at this that isn't familiar with these things and thinks, "Wow, that's pretty cool. That's really old." No, I'll just watch. I'll put a video out, and I'm going to demonstrate by breaking one, probably two of these things, just just to show how they do it, and things to look for. And you do get some of these archaeologists that are really, they get ticked off because there's people out there that fake this stuff, and they'll automatically assume the folks like, say, Matt Bell with his hardstone ancient Egyptian vessel collection, that, oh yeah, those things are they're not like the ones that you see in the museums, and he probably got them off the hot market and they stole them and all this bull crap, and there's no, I mean, that's a big argument here.
Yeah.
But I think too, the fakers and all, yeah, they need to be called out. But there's value in understanding how different artifacts were made, so you can understand that, yep, this is how they made these things back in the day versus here's somebody that's cranked it out quite clearly in more recent times, and this is
Yeah.
how we know. But I mean, some of them are getting pretty good at it. But you look at Matt's stuff that he has, and there's, from I think most everything he has, there's documentation to go along with those things to show that, you know what, we did not have the technology to do that back in the day when whenever it first came into possession of somebody. I'm speaking in particular his hardstone vessels. So,
And you've seen his collection, have you?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually held
Yeah.
a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had those at the Cosmic Summit this
Right.
past June.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny thing. So, interesting story. I wanted, when Ben Van Kerkwyk was coming out with the initial research on these things, which, boy, he should be given so much credit for this, because I mean, a lot of folks would not know about these things had it not been for Ben's original work. And I knew that he was working with some guys on the side to try and do more detailed analysis on these things. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and try and buy one or two of these things. And they are quite expensive,
Yeah.
especially the more, precise ones. But so I'm out there bidding on these things. And one more, and there were two or three that were up, and you don't see these come up for auction at all. I mean, very often. Now the price on these, oh my gosh, just astronomical. Well, anyway, there's a beautiful, it's a dark green colored with gold leaf rim around the top rim of the thing. I see it on Facebook, or no, I post on Facebook that this thing went up for auction, and somebody got it, and I said, beautiful. Well, then Matt Bell replies, "It's in good hands."
Oh, of course.
And I thought, no kidding.
Of course he did.
I mean, yeah,
Of course.
but I mean, this is back early on before he started putting all his stuff, making it available for research.
Okay.
But it's like, I thought, oh hell yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So somebody else like me is thinking the same way, and he's buying these things
Yeah.
to not just sit them on a shelf and collect dust. He's actually making them available for research so we can learn from them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So,
definitely
I love
important.
that.
It's I think it's so cool he took them to Cosmic Summit for everybody. For the people who
Oh
really
my
want
gosh.
to see.
They were
They
such
get
a
an
hit.
opportunity to touch them and see them
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah. I know. And that spinner vase.
Yes.
That just, did you get to hold that thing? The
No,
spinner,
we
you're
weren't
familiar
there.
with. Oh,
Yeah.
you weren't. Oh, you're
We're
okay.
familiar with it.
You guys have to go to the Cosmic Summit next year.
We know.
I'm telling you.
That's the goal.
That's
We're
the
trying.
goal, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a George. I mean, he busts his butt on that thing, and it's just just a phenomenal event. But no, that spinner vase. It's just, you pick it up and it's so heavy. It's like, because it's granite,
Yeah.
and the thing is
Right.
so
Dense.
polished.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fascinating.
How? How?
I know.
Yeah.
How?
How?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
crazy.
What is that thing that when you go to schools and you present it to the kids, what is that thing that you know it's going to hit every time? What topic or artifact? What's the most
Well,
popular thing that you can present to them?
oh boy. I don't. Well, it depends. So, like when I did the Egyptian one, um, I had a couple of. Okay, so there's a fossil that's called a nummulite, and it's a round circular thing, and they actually there's a brief period of time where some of the ancient Egyptians used them as coins because they look like a coin. They're
Okay.
about the size of maybe a quarter. Well, they vary a little bit in circumference, but um, a lot of they're found in a lot of the limestone blocks there on the Giza Plateau,
Hmm.
and so you look around and they're they're eroding to the point where these things are now they're just like they're laying right on the blocks or laying in the sand.
Oh wow.
It's just a fossil. Sort of looks like a I don't know, like a mini version of a sea urchin type of thing, or
Okay.
not a sea urchin, a sand dollar. I mean, and
Okay.
so I grabbed a couple of those when I was in Egypt. The other thing I've got one piece of pottery that the pottery is everywhere. I mean, just laying
Hmm.
everywhere, everywhere you walk, practically. And then a piece of flint. I took a couple just like stone samples. The type of flint that was commonly used in there because they have flint artifacts. The dynastic Egyptians did, and so I took a couple of those things. I got there was some a craftsman. Everywhere you go, these folks are selling stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
this guy
Yeah.
had made. Where's it at here? Let me show you. Hold on, just a sec. Made the made this really cool nesting thing, and this thing's made out. If you can see it, but it's uh, made out of hard stone, and he handmade this thing, and then get in here and get these guys out. It's hard to get them out, but you've got these miniature canopic jars.
Oh cool.
I mean, they're hand carved and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you take these and you talk about how the Egyptians they what these were used for with the organs when they were mummifying the body and all. But just taking this thing now this I didn't pass around, but I
Right.
had it and I pulled these things out and got to talk about it. But it's just when they can see something like this, you're talking about, oh, they use these canopic jars and they put in the organs from the body and these things. It's one thing to say that, but then to show this is what the jars actually look like.
Yeah.
It's a miniature version.
Let's give them
Um,
context.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was um, the Serapeum was
Mm-hmm.
another. Now I didn't have anything to do physically, but the videos or the pictures, and I had some video showing the boxes in the Serapeum. Even the teachers, they're blown away by this stuff because they never heard of the Serapeum and what it is.
Right.
Let alone the boxes that are
Yeah.
60 plus tons in weight and how they got them in there.
I watched
Yeah.
the video that you had on your YouTube where the one that is stuck in the hallway.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's questions as to, well, they had to have manufactured them somewhere, but how did they get them
In there.
in those little niches
Yeah.
the way they did
Yeah.
without any light? That's the other thing that's not mentioned.
Without any light and
Yeah.
like to come down the hallway and like make the turn to go into the niche. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah. I
what
mean, there's a
for?
lot
Like
of
why?
questions. And exactly. And when you're there, I can tell you, there is no video, no picture that does those boxes justice.
Right.
When you're there, they look even bigger than what you typically see with any pictures or images. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I can still remember. We walk in there, and of course I was if you go to Egypt, go with Ben Van Kerkwick's group. I mean, and he involves the Snake Brothers now, Russ and Kyle Allen, quite a bit. But in the local folks that he works with, they know this stuff, and they can get access to a lot of the places that the general public doesn't get access to. And it's, I mean, you're going, it's one thing after another. It's packed.
Good. Yeah.
But I can still remember when we came in the Serapeum, and I turned to the left, and I just turned, and holy shit. I was like, oh, and Ben got a good laugh at it. He said, that's what everybody says.
Yeah, that first impression, right?
I bet
Yeah.
it never gets old to him either, though.
No. Yeah. So,
Yeah. What was your favorite spot in Egypt?
gosh, boy, it was all intriguing.
If I don't have time for everything, what's the one thing we want to make sure that we go do?
Yeah. Well, I got to say, it was for me, because of the background I had in geology. It was the whole Giza Plateau, which includes basically the 3 pyramids, the Sphinx, in the Valley Temple. Okay. So you got up the higher elevation, you got the pyramids, down to the Sphinx, down to the Valley Temple, and then if you kept going, you're going into the city of Cairo. But when I was there, it's hard to say. You read all these books, you see videos, documentaries on all that, just in those items there, those all walking distance. And it's not until you get there that you can then visualize, oh wow, this makes sense. And we were in the Valley Temple, and I'm sitting there, and Russ, I'm looking at this granite, massive, I mean, megalithic, just precision laid in. So some areas you can't even hardly see between the 2 stones. I mean, it is like, how did they do this? But the granite's falling apart. And I get that, yeah, the certain weather conditions, just basic weather conditions will do that. But it was to a point where it's like, this looks like water erosion to me, like major, long time water. And Russ asked me, Russ Allen, and he said, well, let's ask our resident geologist, Dave, what he thinks. And I said, was this ever underwater? That's the only thing I could think of, is like, well, we don't know. I mean, but I'm convinced that it had to have been for a long period of time. Anyway, but what's neat about that whole area is you got the Sphinx there, which is so cool to see that. The pyramids, and if you're able to even get in the Great Pyramid and have your access to the whole thing by yourself for 2 hours without any of the rest of the public, that's just unreal.
This is just ridiculous.
I'm telling you. And they're all a little different. They like
this is rough cut. I mean, these look like pounding marks to me. Like this is a rough. This is unfinished. And you see, there's some tool here that's been used, like hammering this out. And all of these alcoves, mostly the ones down the end, not the ones up here, but these ones. See these things in the side, these indents. So all of these chambers, and this goes through all the ones down there, they had big granite steles in those with false doors shaped on them, like focusing on the box.
Right.
And this is a small alcove. You'll really see that very plain in the other alcoves down
This
here.
is even crazier than the ATLs. You've got no room to move.
Yeah, I mean, and you'll see the finished boxes down here. They definitely finished them down here.
I feel like this would be hard to do even today if they had forklifts and hydraulics and all that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Even with the forklift, you have to somehow get it around the corner. There's not much more room. The box and
And they also clearly lifting boxes.
These things average about 70 tons just for the bottom portion of the box. The lid is another 30 tons. Each of these made out of single pieces of hard stone, granite being a big one. And the precision's unreal. Train's trying to light in one of these here in just a second. Need 3 hands. Get my flashlight out here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that interior. Look at that. Is that not unreal? Another one over here.
Oh, they were trying to break it off. They just broke off
These are unreal.
notches after the fact. Hey, hey.
It was not.
Let go of her.
That is your original.
There's the bedrock down beneath here.
But if you like extrapolate the length of that floor, it's about the height of where it's lost. You can kind of see the finish on
Now this one's an interesting one. There's a story that this was they intentionally tried to blow this open. I think it was at some point after these things were discovered. Again, these are all hard stone. There's like 24 of these, at least. There may be other niches that the public still can't get into. So where we're walking, this is in the bedrock. This whole chamber with these niches carved out of the bedrock. Uh-oh, there's one missing. Nothing here. Empty. Okay, what's down this way? I don't know what goes down here, but we might as well check and find out. Oh, there's one stuck. Nothing in that niche, but look at this. Now this is pretty cool. So somebody, this is where you can get a perspective on how big these boxes are. I gotta try and hope I can do this. This thing is, holy crap, a good 7 feet high. Maybe more. But it got stuck in this. This is in the middle of, you know, like one person can fit around this thing. Holy moly. Let me see if I can. to get an idea on how high this is. So here I am. There's the top. Up here. Here you go around. Look how they barely fit. But they made these things down here in this underground. Let's see, I can barely fit through here. So they brought these down here and actually finished them down here somehow. How did they do this? It's just mind-blowing. I don't know if you can see in there or not. Is this one? I can't tell if they've cut it out yet or if it's just the box. But this thing, God, how long is this? It's wider than me by a couple feet, taller than me. I'm gonna flip around here. And as far as length, it's by feet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 feet. Again, you're looking at about 70 tons there. Unreal. And what were they used for? They weren't used for, maybe later generations came across these things and the initial creators of these boxes had to use them for some sort of function. They weren't used for burials. Just imagine the effort and time to not only quarry the block of granite that size, but then to machine it out, including the lid. These are single pieces of hard stone. Lid's one piece, the base box another. And precision cut too, not just cut. Did you go down the hallway, the one that's stuck in the hall? Yeah, that's amazing. You get good perspective with that one.
Interesting.
The bigger ones are down here, right?
You think we're more interesting than
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, another one missing. I wonder what happened. Oh, look at this one. Wow. Okay, you want to go on ahead and get in there, and I'll get a.
Yeah.
Dave.
Dave,
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Wow.
nice little bathtub.
Ooh, that'd be.
You know, so the one that's in the hallway down there, this is clearly bigger than that one.
Way bigger.
The one that's stuck. Did you go down the side
Yeah.
road there? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just.
Well, you can go down there. If there's one down there, you go. They'll let you in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can go to where they're sitting.
Oh, cool. Okay. Gosh, look at that. That's just. How do they do that? This one's got like a dimpled exterior. See where they pried that and screwed it up in later years, trying to get that lid off of there? Somebody did. Jeez.
Accident happened in Panorama. Do you remember the guy that
Okay, here's one we get to go down and take a look at. Now this is cool. This is new. Look at this. Wow. Let's get up in that corner section. Look at that. Look how that lit. And you can see where they, again, somebody pried it apart to move the lid. Okay, now these are newer hieroglyphics that were put on this thing, and whoever did it, this might not be as easy to see with video, but when you're here in person, you can tell somebody just took a little chisel or whatever and just tap, 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 tap. It's it's primitive looking. Let's see how long this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just about 7. 7 feet by 1, 2, 3, 4, no, just under 5 feet. Wow. Here's the lid. Let's take a look inside. Hopefully I can get a look in there. I can't tell if I'm getting that or not, but now.
And they have the other part that I think 2026 is going to be interesting. It's called the Causeway, and it's all stone, and it runs basically from the middle pyramid down past along the Sphinx, and then the Valley Temple. And all through there's several areas where Yusuf Arian, he said, since I was a little kid, we've been pushing sand into these cracks, and it just keeps going down somewhere in there. And I'm telling you, there is it's almost like you're walking on a stone roof of some massive structure beneath.
Interesting.
And
It's interesting.
And again, it's, now we're getting all the stuff with the Italian scientists, what they're doing with the scanning stuff, and they're still putting stuff out. Trevor Grassi, I love the stuff he's putting out. He just had a recent one there where we'll have to see. I mean, I think he knows a lot more than what he's saying. I won't say anything more. But there is just tunneling and chambers and you name it. And it's not just right there in that area. There's evidence that some of these, there might be tunnels. I mean, this is going through the bedrock.
Yeah.
So let that sink in. Going clear down the Nile River to other sites, down the Nile. But anyway, I would have to say that one is because you've got basically 3 really cool things right there, sites. And then the Serapeum was the other one. I think that's just mind-blowing. But every bit of it. I mean, I could go. I mean, the entire trip was it was all right up there. You're just fascinated with what you're seeing.
How long were
and
you
how
there
did they
for?
do
How long?
it?
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say.
3 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 17 days.
Okay.
I think it was about 17 days.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a proper trip right
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
3 whole weeks.
Yeah, and it was every bit of the day. We were out doing something, and we go from one place to the next. And the way he had that all organized, I couldn't say enough about it. It was phenomenal. And the people too. I mean, we had a nice small group of folks, and so they set up a Telegram channel for you so that everybody during the trip could communicate with each other, post your pictures and image, share them and all. And then, here it is. We still communicate.
Yeah.
We all get on there and,
Yeah.
share stuff.
You had an
So
experience of a lifetime together. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now I need to go check out some of these other sites. So
What's the next one on your wish list?
well, I'd sort of like to go to Turkey.
Okay.
So I my wife is more the I'd like to go to a beach somewhere and just lay and do nothing. And so Turkey, you could do that, and
Yeah.
maybe she could lay on the beach while I'm over at Göbekli Tepe,
It's a
checking out the
compromise.
tree situation.
Yeah. It's a compromise.
So yeah, but Turkey has a lot
Yes.
of really. I mean, actually, all over there. The guy I roomed with when I was in Egypt, he was originally from the United States and then moved to the UK. And one of the things he mentioned, he said it's awesome because for us from there, it's only pretty much a 5 hour flight
Yeah.
anywhere.
They're so
You know,
lucky.
Egypt, Turkey,
They're
yeah,
so
you name it.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
So
flights are like those little puddle jumper flights are so cheap compared to like I live in Canada and to leave Canada costs a fortune on a flight.
oh,
So
oh
yeah.
wow, yeah. What area of Canada?
I live in southern Ontario, St. Catharines.
Oh,
So it's near the Niagara Falls border, like
yeah.
where we
Okay,
border with you
gotcha.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you come in to the States then to fly out of Canada? Is it cheaper that way, or is it just too
It
far of a?
is cheaper. It kind of depends on your destination, but like an
Yeah,
international destination, it's definitely worth it to go over
yeah.
to Buffalo and pick
Okay,
up your
yeah,
flight there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But those
yeah.
Europeans, they've got it made.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend if you do go, um, t- break your flight up in some fashion.
Yeah.
So I went to up to LaGuardia and then over to um, London,
Hmm.
and it wasn't too bad because I flew overnight and I was able to sleep.
Yeah.
So, and I flew overnight. It was the equivalent of me when I would typically go to bed here. So,
Right.
um, by the time I got into London, ready to start the next day, it's like 9 hour flight or something.
Yeah.
And I left late here
There
at
you
night.
go.
And then it's a 5 hour flight to Cairo.
Yeah, that's not
But
bad.
from Cairo back, I had a 17 hour deal, and I won't be doing that again.
That sounds
I think
horrible.
probably, yeah, I'd probably do the reverse, go back to London, and then maybe stay a day or two there, something like that.
Yeah.
And then back to the States. So
Yeah, 8 or 9 hours, I think that's a maximum for me
yeah,
on a plane.
yeah, yeah. And if you could do it overnight and get a business class seat there where you can stretch out
Stretch
and
out a
everything.
bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jacqueline,
Yes, Sarah.
it is universal. It is universal truth
Oh
time.
boy. And
No.
it is.
What in the heck is universal truth time?
Did you not give him a heads up?
I did.
did
I'm
give him
just
a heads
kidding
up.
around with. I'm just kidding around.
I did my part.
I would say so. You want to know what a universal truth that I would pass on? I would say this to anybody, even if you're not into the archaeological stuff, that you and your opinion matter.
Mm.
No matter what the interest is, if it's not archaeology, whatever it is. There's so many folks that think their idea is a stupid one,
Mm.
and they want to keep it to themselves because they think it's stupid,
Yeah.
and they don't know. And I just looking at the example of all the different ancient sites, and we're still trying to understand our true history on this planet. And there's so many just avenues as you go through time that
Yeah.
still need research, and everybody can play a key role in this. I mean, everybody, literally. We all have different backgrounds.
Hmm.
You might not think that you can contribute much at all, but you'd be surprised. I mean, it's really so. And I would say that would apply again. It's a universal thing because it doesn't matter if your interest is this stuff, whatever it is. You might think that there's somebody else that knows more than I do. No, not necessarily. You may
Right.
have a key piece of information, so don't ever think that. So
Or
your voice matters.
just a fresh idea,
Yeah,
fresh blood.
yeah,
I agree with
yeah,
that wholeheartedly. I mean, that's a lot
yeah,
of why we have this podcast, so that we can let people present their ideas, no matter how big of a name you are or how small of a name you are. I feel like
exactly.
we're all holding a piece of a puzzle, and we're all supposed to put this together.
Yes, yeah,
So I
absolutely.
agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Especially while none of us know. I mean, like we were just saying, none of us know
And
any
why?
of this stuff.
Because we weren't there.
We weren't there.
oh,
All
exactly.
we can do is speculate, and
Yeah.
all that matters is what you think and your opinion and your
Yeah,
outlook and perspective on the world.
yes,
So
yeah, definitely.
we're just here to present multiple
Yes.
theories and perspectives, and we want everyone to figure out what they think for themselves.
Yeah.
Well, and to me, that's I'm primarily on X, and I think that it's if you have the right mindset, this stuff should be fun. I look at
Yes.
it as like you have a gigantic jigsaw puzzle just thrown out on the table, and you literally can involve anybody on this planet to help contribute and put their pieces of oh, this piece might go here, this one might go there to solve this stuff. And it's unfortunate. I think they're doing themselves a disservice, though I do think they're the minority. You got some of these professional archaeologists out there that they don't want to hear anything, or they want to quelch your voice,
Yes.
literally.
Yes.
And it goes against the grain of like, wait, you should be questioning everything. And if somebody clearly makes a mistake and puts something out there that's not factual, we pretty much know it's not factual. Then instead of ripping, now I get these accounts that are intentionally doing that, and I don't doubt that
Right.
there are some out there, but I think for the most part, there's a lot of folks that they'll comment on stuff, and then they'll get slammed down by these. It's just I don't want to use the words, but anyway, it's like they've got their turfs they want to protect
Yes.
for whatever reason.
Their turfs and their tenures.
Yeah, well, that too. Yes. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
And it's I think slowly and surely though that mindset is kind of being overtaken by people who are tired of that.
Yes.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
what we just talked about, everyone's opinion matters and everyone has a right to contribute when it comes to discovering. Because
Yes.
it's everyone's past. It doesn't belong to anyone. It doesn't necessarily belong to one group of people versus another. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
it belongs to all of us. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And it's just when Graham Hancock had his Netflix series, and he went over to Serpent Mound as part of his, this is the first year, and they basically shut him out of the place to do his filming.
Yeah.
Because oh no, you're discrediting the Fort Ancients. That's who did it. Period. And your space, your alien, they'll put crap out there.
Yeah.
I say there, and this is an organization known as the Ohio History Connection that's done this.
Okay.
And it infuriated the heck out of me, because I know the one of the women who was one of the people behind all this. She's actually a damn school board member, right down the road from me. And so Graham, he started as a journalist,
Yes.
and that's all he's doing. He's putting together a theory, an idea, a possibility, and there is evidence that there was occupation, of peoples there at the Serpent Mound area well before the Fort Ancients came along.
Yes.
But because it does not fit the narrative that the High History Connection folks want to push, then that's what they do. and it's sad. It really is,
It
and
is.
it needs to stop. So
It's not a good look because, you know,
no,
at no time, I think if you spend, a respectable amount of time looking into Graham Hancock, him in particular, since we're speaking of him, does he ever present his theories as factual? He says it's speculation. It's just,
yeah,
we're trying to come up with ideas. We're trying to add something into the mix that, maybe it could be this. It's all speculation. And he is very honest and open about that. And to
yes,
shut down somebody who literally has, he's made his career on making speculative theories and just discussing. It,
right,
it makes it
right,
seem as though you can't, like, we're not allowed to do that for any subject,
yeah,
like, how will
yeah,
we ever come up with anything new or discover anything new?
It's a
yeah.
slippery slope.
Yeah, it's a
It
very
is,
slippery slope. It's
and
very,
God bless Jimmy Corsetti and Dan Richards and
sure.
just those. I mean, they've got their lanes,
Mm-hmm.
and they're taking it right at these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
They are.
I'm in particular regarding the whole Atlantis thing. I mean, just because somebody thinks there may have been an Atlantis,
Mm-hmm.
for someone else to say, "Well, you're racist," that is just.
That's a leap.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's Dibble. I mean,
Yeah.
and he's not the only one doing this.
No.
Yep.
I just, but it needs called out. It really does, because you've got folks out here that are maybe new at this, and they don't know what's going on,
Right.
and they take that as the gospel truth. Oh, okay. I better,
Right.
yeah,
So if you speak on those things, you get ostracized or pushed to the side or demonized or,
yes,
called out online. Like, it's
yeah,
such
yeah,
a
exactly.
not a good look for those
No,
people. Yeah.
no,
Yeah. So
I agree.
I appreciate, it seems like those people who are on the open-minded defensive, if you will, it's like, it seems like they've always got something to complain about, but I would counter and say that's because there's always something to call
Yeah,
out and to complain about because it's
Yep.
relentless. It's just nonstop.
I
So,
know, I know, I know. Yeah, yeah, some of these folks that get the followings they do,
hmm,
it's like, wow, how do they put up with this stuff?
yes, yeah, because at least half of the people that are following them to keep track of what they're doing because they disagree.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
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 it's yeah, I know.
yeah, yeah. So you got to have a thick skin, I think, to be in that position, especially publicly like that.
Right, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Graham's one of my idols. I can still remember back, when he was starting to put out some of his documentaries. Just same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't get enough.
like I would wait. Like, I always think, find me someone who wasn't exposed to questioning the ancient past, who wasn't brought to it by someone like Graham Hancock. If not, like, for
I
me,
know.
it was Graham Hancock, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah. Fingerprints of the Gods was sitting in the bathroom in my house when I was growing up, and it's just there. So I started reading it, and,
y-
you know,
yeah.
and that's how it
And
started.
and you would think that the folks that are in the field of archaeology would welcome anything that would develop an interest in
Absolutely.
others getting into that field. And you know what? I guarantee you there's probably somebody that in their younger days they read one of Graham's books or saw one of his
Hmm.
documentaries, whatever, and that developed their interest, played a key role, and they may have turned their mind around, and said, "Nah, no, I don't agree with Graham." But to
Sure.
sit here and diminish him, I mean, with clear, unfactual statements
Yes.
that just is so, yeah,
Well, it's I don't know how else to say it. It's malevolent. It's mean
yeah,
spirited, and
yeah.
with intent, which is the worst part. You know.
I've I've
Churlish.
I've I've said that because I think that it's the minority where this is happening,
Mm-hmm.
or as far as the professional archaeologists
Mm-hmm.
doing this. But I think the others that are just being quiet, they need to open their mouths
Yeah.
because they're just these guys. it's a fringe element that is painting a picture that may not necessarily be the case for the overall folks that are in the field of archaeology.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Little is a good one. I mean, look at
Yes.
all. I mean, his stuff that he puts out is just.
Prolific.
I've got 3 of his books.
Yeah.
Really great resource material. I mean,
Mhm.
he knows this stuff like the back of his
Yes.
hand, and he enjoys the back and forth
Mhm.
engagement with folks as well,
Yeah. I want
which is
that new
nice.
encyclopedia.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's another gentleman, Dr. Hugh Thomas. He's out of Australia.
Okay.
He's just set up a YouTube channel, and he didn't even have the thing set up, and he already had a number, like hundreds of folks that subscribed to it
Oh,
that were
wow.
interested. I think he's going to be one. We'll see. I mean, he seems to have an open mind on this stuff, and he's sharing a lot with the different sites. A lot of the work he's doing is over in Saudi Arabia,
Okay.
Middle East area, and I like so far the stuff I've seen him put out, and there needs to be more of that. So
You said
just
Hugh
my opinion.
Thomas was his name?
Yeah, Dr. Hugh Thomas.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Always like a new source material.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
put him on your show.
yeah,
Hey, we will now.
we will.
We will.
Yeah. So by and large, what would your opinion of the education system be?
Well, I think a college degree. Well, it depends on what you're getting into, what field of work, I guess. But boy, it's a mess.
Mm.
uh, and it goes, at least here in the States, I think down to even at the public school level, it's a real mess.
Mm-hmm.
It needs an overhaul. You know, and I can speak with, you know, I've got she just graduated a year ago, my daughter out of high school, so some experience, and had a stepson, same thing. But it's different from, you know, when I went through the public school system here in the States, and and then our daughter, the first half of her education was private, and there's such a big difference. I mean, when she got into middle school years, she went from private school to that and was a year plus ahead of all the other kids.
Okay.
And so she was no longer challenged and just deteriorated down.
Yep.
And then when we moved to a different school district, and so she could have all of her high school at that particular school. Well, she was in her 3rd year of Spanish, and the gentleman that taught her the 2nd year of Spanish at the prior school taught her totally wrong, completely wrong. And thank goodness she had a teacher at the new school that took the time to re-educate and teach her the right way on all the stuff that she learned her 2nd year in Spanish. I had to re-educate her on it all. But there are ways that a private school is run that I think if the public schools were run in a similar fashion, in some manner that would allow the competition to kick in there, and you know, there's so many factors to this, but it's just, I don't know how. I'll give you an example. I don't want to bore people with this topic, but here you can have a club at the middle school and high school levels at most schools, at public schools. In the district up here, 7 kids can say, we want this club, whatever it is. The school board votes on it. Boom, it becomes a new club. And they're really big about, well, let's get the public involved in helping the school teachers with the education of the kids. But when it comes time to who is going to run those clubs, and there's literally hundreds of these clubs in a lot of the different school districts, depending on the size of the school district. But it's the teachers. It's all the teachers. They're the only ones. And I brought this up. I actually spoke at it. I was pretty active at a school board here when both the kids were going through school. And I spoke up and said, you know what's sad? If Eric Clapton lived in this school district and he wanted to become the guitar club coach, he couldn't do it because he's not a teacher.
Right.
And the way they did it at that particular school district, it was the teacher that had the most tenure that
Oh.
if they had whoever applied for that job, they get paid for it.
Yeah.
And they get a salary based on whatever they're, however they're. So the higher and you don't have to know crap about playing guitar. The highest tenure. I am not kidding.
That's unbelievable.
And so there would be, Eric Clapton left out in left field, who has a passion for the stuff, knows what he's doing.
Sure.
And he can't do it. But anyway, that's just an example of how messed up. I mean, I'm sure people watching this can say the same thing in their respective areas. There's just, and then you get into the college level, and I mean, look at these. All you have to do is look at these archaeological professors and some of the comments they're making. I'd probably flunk out if I was taking some of the coursework under these guys.
Yeah.
Just simply because I believe differently than what might be proposed.
I'm currently in school, and there is definitely I have to go along with things.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Yeah, I go along with a lot of things just to complete the work and to get to the end. But
yeah.
It's definitely it's a compromise of my personal opinions or beliefs or information that I've gathered and what's being presented to me. That's the kind way to phrase it.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
No, I get it. I get you get graded on factual stuff. And if it's factual and you miss it, then so be it. But then when you get the theory idea, different theories or something on,
yes,
and it doesn't necessarily align with the professor, then you're like, well, how do I do this?
Right. And not to say
messy really, really quick.
Yeah.
And not to say, of course, like I'm the student and I'm there to learn. Not to say that everything is as such, but there are situations where I read something and I think, God, I have to read that again because I don't think of it that way. So I'm gonna have to learn the way I need to think of it in order to complete the work that I'm expected to do.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I get it. Yeah.
One of the major problems that I've noticed with the education system is that, like you were saying, Eric Clapton couldn't teach that class and he's just the most badass guitar player ever. And that's because they've set it up on an algorithm and they've taken, human consciousness out of it and common sense and being able to take things by case basis. And we're seeing that everywhere. It's in the schools. It's in our healthcare really, really bad. It's in our colleges. And it seems like everything is running on some type of algorithm. And it is just going to be the downfall of us all if someone else doesn't realize this, I feel like.
Well, it's based on
I get that.
proficiency.
Does that make sense?
Proficiency instead of humanity, right? Especially
that is the thing that makes us human, is being able to look at it as a human being and say, okay, well, this is fucking stupid to do it this way. Let's not do it this way. And we can't do that anymore because the computer says we can't.
Yeah.
And that is just
I feel like a few people
terrible.
warned us that this would happen.
What I tell you, so it's funny. I was talking to both Mike and Dave, their podcast that they got, and we were talking about the whole COVID thing, and on one aspect, I guess, what a horrible crap that people had to go through with that stuff. But I knew I had COVID. I ended up getting it, and I couldn't. I had a little bottle of Vicks mentholatum rub, and I could stick my nose in that thing. Nothing. I mean, there was nothing. Not even the burn down the throat. So I knew, I got it. And my doctor wanted me to go get tested. Still to go get tested. I said, I don't need to get tested. I've got the stuff. And I don't feel good either. And so I asked if he could prescribe me ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine. He couldn't.
That was a hard
No,
no.
not in
And
Canada.
A hard no.
yeah,
Definitely not.
but you know what? It was the ivermectin that did wonders for me.
Yeah,
Um,
Same.
I ended up going online and getting
getting
a
a hold of it.
prescription. Yeah, yeah, through a network of doctors that had set up where you could sort of go around your primary doctor and get a prescription for the stuff. Which interestingly, when we were in Egypt, you know what the folks were doing over. Now this was again, this is a year ago, February. Um, you could get a box of 20, I think it's 20 ivermectin tablets for $1.
Wow.
Dirt
And
cheap.
so, yeah, and so what they were doing over there, they would take one with each meal, and they would actually even take it just to keep from getting any colds or flus.
Like a vitamin almost. Yeah.
Yeah,
Prophylactic.
yeah,
Prophylactic.
yeah, yeah, very safe. It's, I mean, look it up. It's not,
No,
it's
it's been
one
around
that's,
for years and used like
it,
extensively for
yeah,
years.
But horse
yeah,
paste, you guys.
Oh
But
my
horse
goodness.
paste.
yeah, yeah.
That's the only form that it comes in, don't you know?
Just
It-
horse paste.
But look at all the great research coming out now with respect to cancer and how it
Yes.
looks like it's treating different cancers. And
Yeah.
so I guess, yeah, I think if one thing that, and I'm always one, I try and look at what can you learn from all the bad stuff, any bad things you go through in
Definitely.
life. And one of them is with this has exposed our healthcare industry and what a wreck it's in. So on one hand, it sucked to go through all this stuff, but I think people are realizing, man, we've been lied to about a bunch of stuff. It's all about money and control, and now it's. I think. Again, I'm always an optimist, but I think it's all going to get brought down. We're seeing it, just the initial stages of it, and everything. I mean, um, it better be, or we're screwed.
I mean,
Right.
yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a
I agree.
messed up time for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
For sure. But like you said, on the positive note, hopefully it woke enough people up where they won't stand for it to continue, or at the very least for it to worsen.
yes,
How could it get
yeah,
worse?
for sure.
It'll
Yeah,
have its benefit and its purpose when it's all said and done, I think, too.
you're right.
Just especially for what it did for healthcare. I mean, and people with, chronic conditions and stuff like that, they've
Yeah,
known for years that it is just down the shitter.
yeah,
But to see everyone collectively realize at one time that, okay, well, this is all bullshit. And, this is clearly the ivermectin thing is clearly a propaganda campaign. I mean,
yeah.
it is literally the Great Awakening. And I believe that
Yeah.
It
myself.
is. Yeah,
So,
I do too.
Yeah. It was a time. Canada was a special place during those years.
Ugh.
God,
It was bad.
y'all had the trucker strike and all
We
that up there,
did.
didn't
We
y'all?
did.
That was a good
Yeah.
time.
It was a good time.
That was a good time.
Yeah. Quite proud of that situation. Yeah.
Same.
So, yeah. I was a nurse until 2020.
Oh boy, so you probably saw a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Until 2020.
Yeah.
She
yeah.
was past tense.
Oh, there's another bit of a story here.
Sure. Sure.
Well,
It's-
spill it.
The math is mathing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
August
Oh,
20.
because you wouldn't get vaccinated, or
No,
I'm
sir.
guessing.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah.
August
Yeah.
of 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister had to go through the same thing, and
Yeah.
what a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Now look at all the stuff, the research that's coming out on how bad the vaccine. We didn't get vaccinated either, and it was mainly because of the research I'd been doing.
Yeah.
That no,
Yeah.
we're not doing this.
Yeah. It didn't.
And
It didn't. At no time, not for a single moment, seem like a good idea to me. So.
yeah,
Yeah, it was not. It was just a non-negotiable thing. So I did work until it became evident that at some point there would be like a point of no return where it would start to affect my pension and affect like unemployment payments and that sort of thing. So I went off on a sick leave and then eventually just left altogether.
yeah,
with all of my
Well,
things still intact.
yeah,
Otherwise, if they had to walk you out, you would be walking out the door with nothing.
yeah,
They were making it
yeah.
so that you were well and good and truly screwed if you refused. So
Oh,
yeah,
it's so, the stories. I could sit here for half an hour on this
sure,
one.
sure,
Uh, just it's the stuff that people had to go through because of this crap.
yeah.
I mean, just maddening. And I try not to think about it too much because it really pisses the hell out of me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, some of the
Same.
folks that lost, couldn't go to a funeral of their
Yeah.
own parents, or or they're in their last days. Only one person allowed, and by the way, you can't even come in the room. You gotta
In
sit on
some
the other piece of
cases,
glass.
I was a palliative nurse. So in some cases, there was nobody there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just terrible.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're correct. Yeah.
What got me was moms having to give birth in a mask with
Yes.
without their partner,
Yeah.
without their husband there. I mean, for
Yeah.
real.
Wild.
See, I was one. I was like, I was challenging all this. I
Mm-hmm.
would go into the grocery store
Same.
and I'd be the only one in there without a mask on. It sort of felt like walking around naked. It's
It
like
did.
It did.
It did.
everybody's looking at you, and I never once had anybody. The only so we went to an Italian restaurant, Olive Garden, one night, and my wife. I'm one. I'll open my mouth. I don't give a shit. She on the other hand doesn't like to ruffle feathers. We go in there and we're waiting on a table, okay? And so 5 minutes in, the gal comes over and she says, Can you guys go do you have masks? Can you please put them on?" And said,
Nope.
"No, we don't have." And she said, "Well, we have masks here that you can put on while you're waiting on a table." I said, "We're not putting them.
So,
Yeah, we're not putting masks on while we're waiting." And I said, "Look at all these people over here that are sitting in the restaurant eating." I said, "Why don't you go over there and tell those people to put their masks on while they're eating if you're going to make us put a mask on?" I said, "Do you realize how stupid you sound?"
Mm-hmm.
And my wife's like, "Dang." Oh, she was
stop
pissed at
it.
me. And so we left. I said, "We're not putting the fucking mask on." Well, I told my wife that. I
Yep.
mean, we're not putting a fucking mask on. We're out here.
Yeah.
So, and I've yet to step in an Olive Garden ever since. That pissed me off so much. Like,
Yeah.
but you got to stand. I mean, no one would. Very few people did. They realized, you know what, this is stupid, but they went ahead and
And did
no,
it anyway.
yep, got to do it anyway. Yeah.
Mm. I used to love when you go somewhere and you'd see other people without a mask. And I'd be like, you see
Yeah,
each other in
yeah,
public.
yeah.
Like,
You high
high
five.
five.
Yeah.
Hey, friend.
Seems so silly.
Every
but
time.
Yeah, it was just relentless. And yeah, Canada.
I was the same way where I just absolutely refused to play the game. And if I have to wear a mask, I didn't go there. And I mean, but I was like you, where I saw that there's just so few people who are willing to just put their foot down and say,
Which is
no, I'm not,
like when
I'm not doing
yeah,
this.
when we were in the
Yeah.
thick of it, that was terrifying.
It was the
Yeah.
realization that, like, if I don't say no, then no one's going to say no. And I mean, you never know
Yeah.
how that carries over.
Yeah.
If you
Like-
just say no, maybe someone else will get the courage to say no. And like, it was all I could do at the point because I was like, y'all, this is going in a bad direction. Y'all don't understand.
Going.
And I mean, I was like you, where I was like, y'all, it's a lie. It's a lie. Don't do it. Don't do
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
mean, just like
Yeah.
Chicken Little and the sky is
Chicken
falling.
Little, definitely.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was
yeah,
definitely
I've
like
never regretted it a single day.
such a
I know.
strange thing, but to feel brave for leaving your house without your face covered,
I was not brave. I mean, half the time before I would walk into these stores or wherever I needed
Yeah.
to go to get what I needed, I mean, I'd be shaking in my little boots because I don't like to ruffle feathers either, but it was something that had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to see what would happen if it didn't get done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then
You know.
you see people driving their cars wearing their masks.
For
And
I swear, I still see that.
well,
I
there's
do
still
too.
people. Yeah, there's still folks still wearing masks.
Yeah.
It's like, what the
There
heck?
is.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes
Yeah.
deep with some people, right?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but Yeah.
the darkest of times,
It
and but
really was
it's gotta get better.
in our
You know, it's
lifetime.
gotta
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
it's
every
got to have a swing
generation,
back.
like I feel like every generation has like a there's
A 9/11.
some topic that everyone that certain people are just brainwashed on, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that was a once every few generation one, but yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Changed my
I think
life.
we're. I think it changed a lot of lives
Hmm.
for sure.
Hmm.
I think there's going to be. It'll be interesting to see. Not to get political, but with this whole thing with Epstein and it doesn't matter the party, Republican, Democrat. It's there were folks that were just basically compromised
Hmm.
and told what to do.
Sure.
Um, and I think people are going to be blown away by what we learn here. Uh,
I
Not
think
good.
If we can ever learn about it,
sure. I just think that we're in a different era now because so many people have access to information, whereas
Yeah,
before, you know, governments and systems that kind of work clandestinely or behind closed doors, they didn't have to contend with that. They didn't have to worry about this or that being leaked because even if the game of telephone happened, it didn't go very far. And
yeah,
now that's a different story. So it has to do
yeah,
with, you know, exposure of truths and just not being able to hide behind, you know, hide behind your hand anymore. So
yeah.
and there's so many topics that fall under that. Like I wonder what will happen, you know, with that. Like, you know, and it like you said has nothing to do with politics. I just think it has to do with like just the state of the world. Everything there is no
Did
more privacy.
did you guys see the thing there with the Smithsonian
No.
where Trump wants to go? This came out yesterday.
Mm.
He wants to go through all their documents.
I want them
There's
to
evidently
too.
well, it's
us
interesting.
too.
There's evidently a huge tunnel system
Mhm.
that and they're alleging some type of child trafficking involvement. I mean, I
You
I
don't
was
say.
reading.
What?
Oh, I was reading. This is like, well, this will be real interesting. So, I mean, it just came out yesterday. And I haven't had a chance again. I got in late. I didn't get a chance to do my typical catch up on all the latest events. But there, go look into. There's going to be some interesting stuff there. There's the good old Smithsonian.
Yeah. They're already on my shit list.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
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 Well, look at. I mean, that's a whole nother topic about
Hmm.
were there or weren't there like 7 foot plus skeletons that they took from different sites in the past, and if they did take them, where are they at? Where
Well,
why?
sure. It's just story after
They
story after
lost them.
story that you
Yeah,
hear where, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
information was collected and items were uncovered or sent them
yeah.
to the Smithsonian for no one to ever hear from them again.
And do you guys know that with this whole NAGPRA thing, sending back all the uh, artifacts and whatnot, the Smithsonian is immune to that. It doesn't involve
Oh
them.
yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah,
They
Of
can
course.
lock it all up in the basement and
Y-
it'll never see the light
yeah,
of
It's
day
like the
again.
Vatican of archaeology.
yeah.
It is. It
Hmm.
truly
Hmm.
is.
Oh,
Truly.
that's a whole topic there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that thing about the Smithsonian come through my timeline yesterday, and I didn't even look at it because there is such a thing as just being overloaded, and I think a lot of people are there right now with just um, the state of it all. I mean,
Hmm.
and I'm just hoping it's like a darkest before dawn situation because
Yeah.
I mean everything just feels like it's kind of in the shitter right now, but we have to tear it down to rebuild things. I
Sure.
Yeah.
mean, and that's not just a political stance, that's with anything. If you want to change something, you have to tear something down and build something new there, and that's just how things work.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I hope
Yeah.
we're just tearing some stuff down and we can
Hmm.
build something worth having
Hmm.
going
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah. Hmm.
We're gonna go in another direction.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Who was your favorite speaker at Cosmic Summit? And like,
Uh,
and what were you doing there? What was your involvement?
well, so first off, they were all good, and well, this is my third year. I've gone to all three of them,
Okay.
and so the funny thing is, each one of these I've gone to, you'll talk to somebody at whatever table you might be sitting at, or if you're just in the hallway or whatever, and invariably, every it is you'll get on a topic somehow. So I was at the coffee station. I'll get to my favorite speaker in a second, but I was at the coffee station grabbing a coffee, and I overheard somebody say something about putting salt in coffee, and I said salt in coffee. Well, that
Delicious.
ended up, yeah, yeah, that turned into a, oh, what are you here for?
Sure.
Thing. Next thing you know, half an hour later, there's another guy that drove down with me, and Greg, I said, Greg, you need to talk. He's an engineer. And this gal, her background was medical in some fashion, but then we ended up, that's what ends up happening. Everybody that's there is open-minded, and so nothing is off the table as far as a topic of discussion, and it's cool. It's really that alone. It's like, well, you have no worries about somebody just thinking you're a jerk for believing
Sure.
in
Sounds
a certain
wonderful.
way about, yeah. So
Right.
anyway, so that I've gone every year, and I'll continue to go to these things. I'll do whatever I can to support George with this, because I think George Howard, I I mean,
Same.
it is such a phenomenal thing that he's got going. Every aspect of it is really it's awesome.
Yeah.
So, but my favorite speaker was probably Ben Van Kerkwyk.
Okay.
But the other problem is, well, it's not a problem. There were some of the, so you had breakout sessions where you would have maybe three different speakers, or two or three different speakers going at the same time, and then certain parts of the day you had one primary speaker, and there were a couple of other, I'm like, oh crap, which one do I want to see? But you can go back any point in time and watch any of the presentations
Oh,
from
okay.
folks that you didn't happen to catch while during a time you were watching somebody else. And Catherine Ulysses is one of them. It's Robert Schoch's wife.
Yeah.
I
Right.
really heard a lot of good things about her speech, and I still haven't had a chance to go watch hers. But she was proposing this idea that certain Egyptian sites were intentionally buried, sort of like Göbekli Tepe. And maybe was it done because they knew something was going to happen, and they wanted to
Right.
preserve the sites. So I want to see hers, but there are several like that. I mean, all the speakers that George has had at every one of these things, they're just gangbuster folks that are, you had Matt talking about his jars and the research, and Ben touched a little bit on that. But gosh, oh, Hugh Newman was great. I spoke with him afterwards. I probably put him. There's so many that were so good.
Yeah.
And he spoke on all of these different sites that were tracking, which is one of the things I've sort of been more recently researching and studying. But almost all of these ancient sites were studying or tracking some celestial body for whatever reason, whether it was the 18.6 lunar cycle to, something as distant in time as the precession of the equinoxes, which is just under 26,000 years, which is one of the things that Hugh brought up with these caves in France, where it appears that they were tracking the literal precession of the equinoxes. And if that is proven out, it's like, how on earth did they even know that
How?
existed?
Yeah.
Number
Yep.
one, and number two, why would they be doing
Yeah.
that?
For what purpose?
Which is sort of where I'm at. It's like, why were all of these sites? I mean, there's mounds, there's all kinds of structures that appear to be set up to track different celestial events or celestial bodies. And in my theory is that they were doing it because they knew we would go through these periodic cataclysmic events.
Right. They're counting down
and
how much time they had left.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that to then potentially prepare for whatever was coming. So I think if maybe we looked at some of these sites a little differently with that in mind, maybe there's some additional clues that might be sitting around, whether it's in their artifacts or, like I had an idea the other day. I was looking at one with some Indian site, and it was a wall structure on one side, and none of the blocks had nubs, and then on the other side, same block style, is a similar wall, but it had nubs on it.
Okay.
Those blocks had nubs randomly on there, and it's like, now why does that wall have them, and the other were the nubs potentially used? So they could track the shadow of the sun. I don't know. I mean, I think there's something to it, but
The nub thing gets me.
Oh, definitely.
yeah. So anyway, no, as far as back to the Cosmic Summit, I mean, just about everybody was phenomenally good, but I just really enjoy Ben's work, especially. But he is doing a lot of good stuff, researching the maze area there, just off the Giza Plateau, not too far. I mean, what is it like? It's been sort of off limits to any kind of, and that's the thing when if you go to Egypt, everywhere out there, it's like you could just tell there's shit all over under the sand out there, all the way literally up and down the Nile River.
Sure.
And there's so much that we haven't even touched. Again, just there at the Giza Plateau, the causeway, you can they've got all these shafts that go down, and they're all blocked with metal grates, and you can look down and you can see some of them go way down, and clearly somebody knows what's under there.
Yeah.
But it's off limits to the public.
Yeah.
Period.
And you never hear about it or see it in a documentary or have, those are the things, the little nuance to things that might add insight for somebody who doesn't have an opportunity to get there, that can make all the difference. Yeah.
Right.
Sarah, we have to go. We have to get there.
Yeah, you have to go for sure.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's in his trips. I mean, they're a bit expensive. I think they're around 7,800 or somewhere thereabouts. Which sounds like a lot of money, but it is. But it is worth every penny. And I guarantee you, if you go look at some of the others that are offering the same trips out there, you'll get way more for your money through Ben and his contacts. Actually, you'll get access. We had 10 private access.
That's good.
During when we did our trip.
I've actually looked and priced it out from time to time, and thought of different ways of actually getting there. And it's expensive. But
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
definitely something you have to save up for. But I mean,
worth it. Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't put a price on. I mean, I know you have to put a price on it, but you can't put a price on an experience like that. And I mean, I want to go. I would go tomorrow if I could. Like, it's definitely a bucket list
for sure
destination. Like, I've seen the do they still have hot air balloons?
Yeah,
it was
your post about the hot air balloon. Yeah.
Let me tell you
that was a cool picture.
That was a highlight. That was, and so we go out. I got to tell you this. We had to get up at like 3:30 in the morning to prepare to go to this thing. And so first we get down, we board these boats. They go across the Nile River. Then we get in vans. Then we go to this you couldn't see it because it's pitch dark. But somewhere was this large area where there were evidently hot air balloons ready to roll at the right time so we could get up and see the sunrise. And I'm thinking, so now it's starting to get light. And now you could see them all laying out. And I'm thinking, there's no way we're going to get up in time to see the sunrise. It didn't take long at all. Then all of a sudden they just, they're all firing up.
Cool.
and each of these baskets could hold 28 people.
That,
I couldn't
that
believe.
amazes
I mean,
me.
yeah. And so everybody's climbing in, getting into a balloon,
Neat.
and I believe there were some other. It wasn't just our group; there were other people that were getting in these balloons. But when it's so weird because when he's not laying on the fire deal, it's just quiet. It's real. You're just up there. It's just nothing other
Yeah.
than you hear the sound of the other
Like,
people around you.
yeah.
But it get real quiet, and he was at one point. So what they would do, and I didn't know this, what they'll do, they'll go up to certain altitudes because the wind directions are different.
Yeah.
So if you want to go this way, you go up so high, and they knew how to maneuver that thing based on altitude and wind direction once they got to certain altitudes. There was one point where he was rocketing that thing up. And I mean, very quickly, everything's turning into squares, and I'm like, and your ears are popping.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit, this is a little bit too fast. I think we're quite high enough here. We don't need to go any higher.
That's
This
funny.
is... But yeah, what a cool thing. And then most of us landed in the sugar cane area. And the people there were just like, no big deal. There's those damn balloons again while they're out there whacking away at the sugar cane.
Yeah. So it took you right up above the plateau. You could see the pyramids. You could see all
Yeah,
that.
so
From above.
yeah, this was in Luxor.
Okay.
So you could see some of the sites there once you got up. But then there were these, and we actually then visited some of that area where you could see all these like tombs cut into the bedrock.
Yeah.
It's really wild. Once you get so high up, you can see all along the Nile, and it's just green, real lush green,
Yeah.
long, and then instant cut off, and it's desert.
Desert, yeah.
And so then, but there was, when you're up there, you could see the green, and then you could see where there were sites, and they were actually actively excavating some of that stuff.
That's neat.
But it was like, just little, like, I don't know, rectangular areas there that were just clearly somebody had cut into the ground and digging all over. But I don't remember what the name of that site was. We actually we went over and visited that place I don't know, some point later in the trip. But yeah, that's a fun.
Yeah.
That was in Luxor. What a neat city. I mean, the whole country really.
Sure.
The people were just phenomenal. The food was good. It's all
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah, the food.
Food.
I
is
haven't even
delicious.
thought about the food.
The food
I
is
haven't even
delicious.
thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Wow.
camel's great. That tasted really good. I watched while they butchered that guy and we ate him. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Because I was about to
No,
ask
we
you
did
about
have
the
camel
camel.
We did have camel meat though.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
good. Tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
It all does.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any like horseback experience? Like, because you look pretty natural on that camel. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, here we go on a camel ride. Whoa! This is a little rough. Camel ride across the desert. Heading to the Serapeum.
You want Egyptian scarf, friend?
No, thank you.
This nice scarf? Not too much money, only Egyptian food too.
Thank you. Wow. This is pretty cool. That way, there we go. Interestingly, you only have one saddle to put your foot in. The one you get up in.
No. Well, no, I've ridden maybe, what, 2 horses in my life. So no. No, but and you'll get that all through there. Come on, get a camel ride, and then they want you to
You'd
pay them
have
or
to.
whatever
You'd have to.
at
I'd
the end
have
of
to.
it.
I'm gonna do it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Have to.
Or they'll say, "Hey, come over, because I've got a picture somewhere where I'm, with the stick and all, and
Sure.
the guy's like, "No, they won't charge you anything. No, let me just get you a picture. This is my camel," and then bull crap. Yeah, so you fall for it.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, give me something. You got to give me something.
I like in the video that you posted, you're on the camel and the guy's trying to sell you a scarf as you go by.
Oh
It
yeah,
made me
yeah,
chuckle. Yeah.
no,
yeah.
thank you. Just ride.
Yeah,
I'm
the
all right.
scarves are
Sure.
Those scarves are everywhere. I've got a couple of them. I've got
Sure.
there's one hanging up back there behind me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're and it's again the people. I made the mistake. It was our last night there. We had dinner. We're getting on the buses to go to the airport so everybody could head home. And I thought, well, you'd see these kids outside the tour bus. They would be there with all kinds of little knick-knack things, and I thought, okay, one of these little kids, I'm just going to give them $100 bill, which I didn't realize that's like 6 months salary, for an adult. So this little girl, cute little girl, I think she had bookmarks or something. Anyway, so I rolled up the $100 bill and I put it in her hand. And this other girl saw me that was with her or near her, bigger girl, saw me do that, and she went and just tried to rip that thing out of her hand.
Sure.
And if I hadn't rolled it up, she'd have ripped it. I mean, it would have been ripped in half. And that poor little girl was running for her life, and all these then words getting around. Not only the other kids that are out there, now the parents are involved.
Yeah.
And I had a mother with another girl. Ooh, she's crying. I'm like, oh my gosh.
What did you do?
I'm thinking,
what have I done?
yeah, they're running around this girl's running around the bus and everything. I'm thinking, oh my God, one of these kids is going to get hit by a car So I had to get out of there. I got on the bus. And I get on the bus. Dave, what'd you do? What'd you do down there? I said, well, I think I messed up. And
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, and so while I'm sitting there, I didn't want to look out the window because they're all out there, They're all wanting their money
like
and everything,
this.
and they're crying, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so this one guy that had a little bit of common sense, he comes up to the window and he says, just for her or all, like this. I could tell that's what he meant. And I said, all. So split it among all of them. So he took care of resolve the situation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
well intentioned though.
Sure.
Yeah. But no, it's a fun. It is real. It's amazing. There's just 22 million people or something in Cairo. It
Just
is
in Cairo.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge city. It's massive.
It always takes me aback a bit when I see photographs like where you can see just how close the city encroaches on the plateau.
Yeah.
Like I saw a photograph once. I feel like everyone has seen it, but somebody's sitting inside a Kentucky Fried Chicken and looking at the pyramids.
Yeah, I've got some pictures I took.
That's crazy.
Yusuf's place. That's Ben's buddy there.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Yusuf's dad and grandfather really that's what the whole Kemet.
It's Yusuf Aswan.
Yeah, Ayan. Yeah.
Ayan,
So they
okay.
started that. His grandfather did with the tourists. I mean, long time ago, and he's sort of. So again, I mean, he has so many connections, and the people all know him, but he has a shop there because he does stonemasonry type stuff.
Okay.
And he even has I think somebody bought him while we were there, somebody in our group, but he had some stone hardstone stuff that he attempted to make sort of similar to what Matt collects.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, there's no way.
Yeah.
If he can't do it, nobody can.
Right.
But I mean, and there's other shops there that do carry attempts, doing what they did, but they're nowhere near the precision.
Right.
Right.
But from his place, you're right on the edge, and there's the Great Pyramid. I mean, plain as day, and it's pretty cool. You'll see everything from camels to donkeys to regular cars to
Yeah.
going down the street.
Such a
So,
clash of culture, or not a clash, but
yeah,
just like an amalgamation of culture.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. There's a newer part called New Cairo, which matter of fact, I sat on a plane. A guy was from Portugal on the way into Cairo, and he was interviewing with some company to move from Portugal to New Cairo. I had no idea what it was, but it's a really modern, looking city. We didn't go into
Mm-hmm.
New Cairo, but you can tell all the infrastructure and everything. That's where all the money's going.
That's where the money is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
The gentrification.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sarah.
Well, Jacqueline, you got any further questions for
I don't. I mean,
Dave? We've been calling you Uncle Dave. I
Yeah.
just want you to know that. The whole community, like us, Cody,
we start
everyone
nicknames and
calls
they
you
stick.
Uncle Dave.
Yeah, Cody mentioned that.
Yeah,
We start nicknames.
That's
and
we've
they
been
funny.
stick.
calling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we've been
matter of
calling
fact,
you Uncle Dave.
I got to give Cody a call too. I haven't supposed to chat with him. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I can listen to
You're family.
your stories
You're officially family.
for sure.
Well, yeah, it'd be cool to see if Ricardo comes over here to the States. I wouldn't mind. Somebody my wife works with is from Portugal or was in Portugal. I guess beautiful country.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but anyway,
It's
Well,
been
Jacqueline?
awesome. We're so grateful.
it has. Well,
Yeah.
I seriously thank you both for having me on your show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's been
hopefully,
Definitely.
it's been a
it's
good time
on.
for us for sure. I can
Yeah.
listen to your stories. If you have any good
Yeah.
ones, you can send them to me. I forgot. Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Well, do it again down the road for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
So,
Uh,
if the people are
go ahead.
looking for Dave Fitzpatrick, where do they find you?
Well, I only have right now anyway, so it's primarily I'm on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I'm on there quite often. So, The Great Awakening, there, and then same YouTube channel is the same, and that's where I've got there's not that many Egypt videos out there right now.
No.
I put some out. What ended up happening? I was using a service. They didn't accidentally. It's a story. Don't ever use this service called pCloud anybody. It's a cloud service and they suck.
Okay.
They
Tell everyone
deleted
you know.
they deleted all. I had over 2,800 images,
Oh,
a bunch of
no.
videos, all gone. So I do have everything that was on my cell phone is permanently gone. But I took a little one of these little guys with me and did a bunch of recording on it, and so
Yep.
I've got to go out and re-download the video that's on that thing,
Hmm.
and then I'll probably add a bunch more than what's on there now. It's just one of those not enough time in the day things
Gotcha.
to get it done.
I
So
feel that.
yeah,
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Sarah,
Well, Jacqueline, you gonna tell these people where they can find us?
we're everywhere, Sarah. Of course I will. You can find Universe Unveiled on X/Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Spreaker, and Rumble and Instagram.
That's right.
That's right, girl.
It's a lot to remember.
It is. It is. I just think of all the places I have to upload.
No, I
yeah.
know.
Also, you can check out the link in our description below to check out our merch store.
Merch.
Merch.
We have merch.
Yeah. And our
Merch.
buy us a
We have
coffee
merch now.
link.
And the buy me a coffee thing.
Mhm. Yeah. You got anything
And
else
that
to
is all the
add?
ways that you can support our channel
It is.
if you
Yeah.
feel so inclined. But
I hope they do. I hope they do.
Yeah.
Dave, we're so grateful for your time and
Well-
for your stories. And I encourage everyone to check out your YouTube. Some of your up close and personal videos inside the Great Pyramid are, I really enjoyed them. I watched through all
Well,
of
the
them
good.
Egypt footage
Yeah.
is so good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
because it's raw
Now-
and it's real and it's, firsthand. So,
Yeah, and I'll get more out there. Trust me.
yeah.
Give me a little time.
Give me more. Give me more.
looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Well, Jacqueline and Sarah, seriously, thank you both for having me on. Really enjoyed it. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
Same.
We
Great
thank
chat.
you.
Great
for
chat.
sure.
Yeah.
We'll have you back. Uncle Dave.
All
Uncle
right.
Dave. All right, Dave. Talk to you later.
Have a great
Thanks,
day.
guys.
Thanks for watching,
All right, we'll
everyone.
see
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.